Right, let's go right back to earnings then. And Century Plyboards came out with its numbers. Margins have contracted on a year-on-year basis. Revenues are at about 891 crores. Keshav Bhajanka is the ED Century Plyboards joining in to discuss numbers. Good to have you on board. Just wanted to have you walk us through the outlook then. In terms of your overall EBITDA margins this time around, what exactly is the reason for a contraction on a year-on-year basis, 14.9%, and where is it that you see your overall revenues headed?
Good morning. You see, if you look at the current demand scenario, we aren't seeing a very robust demand on ground. And due to this, the first quarter was challenging, even though it was with a slow demand based on tightening in credit. I think we've been able to do well. We've been able to grow year on year. The pressure on margins is predominantly due to the fact that raw material prices have shot up, and we have not seen the sort of operating leverage that we would have liked. But going forward, I think margins in plywood will continue to remain good. Margins in laminate should improve, and MDF and particle board, we should be close to what we have guided. So I don't see this as a long-term issue, but yes, in quarter one, margins were under pressure.
Why is demand down, Keshav? I mean, for a sector where I remember we had multiple conversations that there was boom time like never before. Is this a cyclical drop or more like a COVID sugar rush which has faded away?
I think the main impact has been the escalation in interest rates that has led to EMIs going up and perhaps slight deferment because people have bought. As you can see, the demand for real estate still remains robust. But perhaps the decision to shift a house into a home or convert a house into a home is taking a little bit of a backseat till these high interest rates and EMIs last. So I think it is a short-term lag, it is a short-term impact, but we'll have to be careful. Of course, quarter by quarter, we are seeing this quarter looking far more robust than the last quarter. So I think it is a short-term impact. Going forward, I think the real estate cycle remains robust.
The second half to be better than the first half?
Definitely.
Okay. Within the categories, plywood, laminates, MDF, if there is a drop in demand, I would imagine that premium should sell less. Is that the trend?
To be honest, no. If you look at our product categories, most of our categories have shown uniform sort of performance. So it hasn't been that premium has fallen and the economy segment has gone up. It has been a slight reduction in demand throughout. Having said that, yes, the product mix will shift towards MDF more because our new capacity has been launched, and we are going to get the advantage of that capacity from this quarter onwards.
You are looking at capacity addition, like you said, in terms of MDF. MDF versus plywood, if you add more capacity in MDF, is that more better revenue line for you, a stable revenue line for you? Because MDF is now becoming more like a very stable revenue line.
I think as the name suggests, CenturyPly, it continues to be a plywood company. Plywood is our largest share, both in terms of revenue and in terms of profit. And I think that plywood is going to continue to grow. MDF, because of the lower base, you're correct. The pace of growth will be higher, but we're expecting growth across all segments.
Outlook in terms of the raw material price impact on your margins, are there measures that you are taking in order to mitigate the impact?
Yes, definitely. We have already taken a price increase in the plywood space as of last month. And I think that, the ability as the market leader for us to take price increases when there's a raw material price increase differentiates us from perhaps everybody else. The unorganized, as you know, is still the largest part of the plywood industry. And they struggle at times where the raw material prices move up. So I think that while this is a dampener on margins, overall, it is a phenomenon that does not necessarily hurt us.
I must say I love your ads, which are very innovative, and I do see them on the channel. What would be the general mood point from a customer standpoint? Because we were talking about a trend which was unorganized becoming organized, and that is a trend which you benefited from. But when the market is sluggish, what happens to this unorganized versus organized shift?
I think, right now it is more a case of deferment rather than downtrading. So this sentiment of now going for a branded player, I think continues. And, with far lesser information asymmetry with people getting access to far more details, to the benefits of our products, I think the demand for branded is going to continue to go up, and in particular, the demand for our products is going to go up. Having said that, currently, I think it is a uniform sort of weakness. It is not that the lower price segment is sort of benefiting and the higher price segment is suffering.
Okay, and what exactly is the outlook in terms to achieve that projected 8 to 10% growth in the plywood segment, given that about a 6 to 7% increase is expected in overall volumes and the price hikes that you spoke of?
I think we're well on track. I think we will definitely achieve this, and the objective, of course, will always be to exceed the same. But we are on track to achieve our targets.
Appreciate your time. Thanks so much for joining in, Keshav, and giving us an outlook on numbers. Time for a quick break. We'll be right back with more.